All right. Good evening, everyone. If you can hear me, just type in a hi, type in hello, so that I know you can hear me. So, welcome back to our YouTube live. So, like what we have mentioned for over the last 2 weeks, we will start off our WealthPulse sessions on YouTube for the first 40 minutes, and then later off the 20 minutes, we will start off from our Zoom. Is for our close community. So tonight we will talk a little bit about Google earnings, and also one of the sessions that we went to, not so much about Google's so-called earnings, more about YouTube. And I also went one of the Singapore company AGM. So there's a saying. So if you are investor of a company, best if you meet your management, because that's the for small investor like us or even retail investor like us, this is the golden moment or one of once per year moment where we can meet our management live. Best is in person to really get some updates of the company's progress, what have they done over the years, and then maybe some of the mistakes they have done over the years, or maybe things we can look forward to. So it seems a long time when I went to an AGM, a person AGM. Previously, when I started off with Singapore companies, I visited a lot more AGM. But since like before COVID, I start switching to US companies. The frequencies that I went to Singapore company have lessened. So yeah, so last week is kind of a golden opportunity for me to visit one of Singapore largest company that runs Singapore airport terminal services. Is set. So I went to the AGM and then I have a quick understanding of their progress for one last year. And it's kind of encouraging whereby you meet other investor that ask some of the questions that you have not thought about, and speed up our learning journey on understanding a company. Just like how we went to some of the like courses, we went to some of the YouTube channels to get some updates on the companies. And likewise, you guys come here to really get some understanding of some of the companies that we look into. And for community out there, yeah, I believe you'll be very curious of the SETS AGM itself, because there's one things that the investor asked. So one of the things that investor asked about the company is this. So management, you say that the company is growing, and then you see yourself as a growth company. But we always know SETS as a dividend company. So right now, the growth is not like the so-called tech companies that 30, 40, 50% growth. So right now, it's in the teens, not even a 20%. How would you see yourself as a growth company? And if you are not paying a decent dividend, how investors should see themselves investing in a dividend company? So in short, sets like 四不像, four not alike. Not like the head is like horse, the tail is like cow. It's not here nor there. So if you'd like to understand what the management and how management address this, do stay tuned to the second half, which is the 20th or the so-called 25th minutes of the sessions. I'll talk a lot more about this as well. All right. So people are coming in. So hi everyone. So we have Kun, yeah, we have YB Teo, we have Jax, we have PL, have like Tiong Kun. All right. Hi PL. Is guide on how to use Will. So pretty much some updates that we have shared across the year. So Goodwill, the tool itself is still there. The Google app itself is still there. It pretty much like generated by AI and stuff like that. But it's really for entry-level investors. So I believe most of you are more seasoned investors. So some of the tools that I shared previously, like using like FinChat.io, right now named as Fiscal.ai. I'll be showing you some of the tools that I'm using. I'll also be sharing like Perplexity Finance. I shared this before. And some of the tools that I use, like Google Notebook LLM. So these are the things that I use to like learn, to find out, to shorten the time to get the gist of the information itself. All right. Hi, Chuyen. Hi, Diana. So while people are streaming in, just type in a hi if you are here. Smash the like button, smash the love button if you are seeing everything is good right now. And I'll start in a short while. So let me, time to time, type some text in the chat, hit some love button, hit some like, so that I know the things are running well here. So one of the things that I'm not used to from Zoom switching to YouTube is I could not switch the camera. So lucky that before I start, the camera has switched to my Osmo Pocket 3. So I think the visuals looks good here, right? Yeah, because last week, don't know why it suddenly hang. So I'm using Osmo Pocket 3. So if you see something pop up here and there, you like to buy Osmo Pocket 3, just click on the link and I'll show you why later on. Yep. And then the next thing is, so right now, let me just like play some video so you can understand what is like Goodwill about and what is WealthPulse about, and then what do we cover last week itself. All right. Hey everyone, welcome to our weekly WealthPulse session. This is where we dive into money management and life investing every Tuesdays at 8 p.m. live. If you are new here, let me give you a quick intro. We are an international team of educators and product technologists who develop digital tools and content to help with investing and financial education. We believe a world where people can live flourishing life without money constraint. Our mission is to inspire people to integrate investing into everyday life and build their life investing portfolio. And we are here to experience life to the fullest, and that's why we are always experimenting, trying out what works and constantly evolving to shape our life portfolios. And we are advancing together with purpose-driven people. That's why we are excited to build this community with all of you. Now, a quick intro to our online spaces. Beside our various social media and communication channels, everything leads back to our Goodwill community platform. That's our base camp, where we all gather to share, discuss, and support each other through the ups and downs of the market. WealthPulse is our weekly community gathering where we talk about the latest market trends and develop. Together, we filter out the noise, gain clearer insights, and grow our money, investment, and life. We are also stepping up our offline event so we can meet face-to-face more often. At the end of the day, my goal in building WealthPulse with all of you is to help everyone boost your confidence and ease any anxiety when dealing with the ever-changing market. If you got any questions, feel free to drop them through this page by scanning the QR code. A quick disclaimer here, all of our sharing here is just for educational purposes and is not intended as financial advice. And now, without further ado, let's welcome our host for the night, Eric. And Adobe have to pay 1 billion because of the cancellation of the acquisition. So there's 1 billion being given to Figma, and right now Figma is looking to raise another 1 billion. And in total for Figma generate close to 800 million. So 800 million, if the market cap is 16 billion, all right. So our valuation, this Figma IPO is priced at 20 times. So if you ask me, I would think that their valuation is at a high side, and they are not without competition. They are not monopoly, or they are not outbreaking kind of like technologies that everyone should adopt. They just have a nice interface. They can put people together. They have the size of 13 million users. But if you ask me, is this a very strong moat? I would say not very strong moat. A lot of time, the pricing of the IPO is high. There's a potential you are paying overpriced IPO. Although Buffett says stay away from IPO at all costs. Yeah. So the first piece of like things I will share, if Gongcha or Koi or Chaji is $0, who don't mind drinking the tea? You find a very, very extreme alternative just to make this thing affordable and I still can make money. In the end, do you think it's good for consumer? Not quite right. Yeah. So orders just keep coming in. They say, wow, I never made so much tea in my life. And then if they are so busy, right, would the quality of the tea their first priority?
Obviously not. Their flash price, in their day, all would get hurt. Businesses get hurt, consumers get hurt. So instead of slashing price, right, why not we just go for better tech and caliber? So this is what the Chinese government advocate for. And if I would run a business in China, I would definitely listen to what the government say. I think for impact bubble may be bigger than a dot-com bubble based on the PE valuation. This ETF called BUZZ, BUZZ. I will just type in this ETF is very, very interesting. This ETF, right, they invest in companies that have like very high social sentiment. Then Trump's permit NVIDIA to sell advanced chip to China. Any NVIDIA investor right here, yay! Right now I can sell more, yay! Our H2O chip can sell into China. We are not worried whereby they will just copy, imitate, produce, reproduce the same chip manufacturing. Right, China is one of the best that can produce the best thing in the world. So if they can recreate ASML, most likely this China ASML, they have a big market within China. They will not care. They fulfill their own Chinese market, then they go out and fight the other world. So if they
All right, so that's the roundup for last week. So we talked about NVIDIA, we talked about ASML, we talked about how the ASML have been performing in the market, but without giving a clarity of the future orders, it's kind of hard for them to predict a better or higher sales in the next year or next quarter itself. But good news is, so there's the good news that announced in the market. So right now, let's just go into for tonight. So let me just see whether I can share it. That's why share my screen. Yeah. Okay. Let me just do this. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So pardon me if you couldn't see the view nicely, but I think this one should be fine. All right. So tonight topic is Google dying. So we will be talking about Google latest earnings and also what are insights that the team have shared. And of course, Google has been like left, right, center by a lot of different AI companies, and also the government authority itself, because they have always been accused of monopolying the search, but they always find some ways to deny it, reject it. Yep. So these are the things that we'll be talking about. So last week or the last year itself, in fact, there's like this project that I initiated since last year together with Arena. If you guys have followed me since last year, together with Arena, we start off with talking about everything about money, from your cash investments to your so-called like retirement investments, like for example CPF investment, to automated investment, to automate ETF investment, to single stock investment, to analyzing a company itself, to like option investing. So we have covered quite a syllabus like last quarter, no, end of the last year, the full quarter year. So August to December of 2024. So we have done that. And after since beginning of the year till now, we almost talk a lot more about the recent market update. So if you like a syllabus whereby we talk from cash investment to ETF to different bond investment to stocks to options. So if you like that kind of like content, do let me know. So I'll recreate the whole so-called quarter itself. And other than talking about stocks, market update, we'll talk about some financial tools. All right. And so these are the things that we covered since beginning of the year. And then last week itself, we talked about ASML, and the week before, talked about Meta. So so we have talked about Magnificent Sevens, you already talked about Meta. So tonight we will talk about Google itself. All right. So market updates, market is still in a very greedy mode. It's like still all-time high, and specifically for this month itself, or this last week onwards, is all about earnings. So we have covered like ASML earnings. So this week itself, we'll talk about like Alphabet or Google. More. So usually, a company we will know by its service or their product. And Google, they first listed themselves as Google before they rebranded it to Meta. Just like Facebook, they rebranded it to Meta. So Google rebranded to Alphabet, Facebook rebranded to Meta. So So if people talk about Google, right, so it's usually interchangeable, like Google, Alphabet, Google, Alphabet. But you will know that under Alphabet, there's Google, there's other Google bets. So some of the investee companies that under Google umbrella, they'll put under Google bets. All right. Or in fact, YouTube also under Google. All right. Next, yep. So this week itself. I believe so far have released their earnings. PayPal and Spotify as well. So these are the companies that I will be looking into. Meta this week, Microsoft, Robinhood. So this week itself is a very very busy earning week. So just type in any companies that you're looking at right now. So then I can so-called pick up some of the companies that you will be interested to know more. Just type in any companies that you invested or you're interested in look into, and I will pick up from there. All right. Okay, so just type in the companies from Visa, SoFi, Apple, Amazon, Google, or Google is this week. Coinbase, yeah, Coinbase is one of the much talked about company because of the Genius Act or the Genius Bill. Yeah, so the Genius Act, the government, so-called the US government has signed it, approved it, and it will having a lot more activity in so-called stable coin. So all these stable coin or we call it blockchain, a lot of institutions they have to go through like Coinbase because they are the central party that have all the platform technologies to support the financial institution to offer crypto trading. Yeah. So like Visa, Qualcomm, all right, MasterCard. I recall Rupert talked about ARM, ARM. Yeah, in fact, ARM also releasing announcement this week. All right, so you'll think about it. Yeah, so PayPal and SoFi. All right, okay. So let's get up to one of the big news for this week itself. In fact, like from last Tuesday to now, over the weekend, that this big news that EU has settled the trade of 15% tariff. So compared to like 20 or the North 20 or 30%, right now it's just 15%. So before the Trump tariff, it is used to be only 10%. So right now they increased another 5%. Yeah. So this is a good news for European company and it's also good news for ASML. All right. So they have not been giving much light. They have not much thought about because people are still looking at the tariff that they will be confirmed. So right now it's confirmed at 15% tariff. So for ASML is a good news because they are the Dutch company. They are in Europe, so it will be a good news for them as well. All right. So if you like that news, everyone just type in yay. All right. So this is like the Trump deal with EU. They have signed it. It's 15% tariff. Any companies that have business there, it's a good news for European companies. Yeah, so today, these are the countries that have signed trade deals with US. So from Europe, Japan, Philippines, Indonesia, UK, and Vietnam. So it's very few. So from now, 29 July to 1st of August, is a very busy period for all the so-called, is it called diplomats or the country representative to talk with like US lah. So from now till 1st of August, if they haven't get any trade deal done, it will be charged or you'll be deemed as like they will just follow the 1st of April. I think it's April, the tax tariff itself. All right. So this is a very what they call high pressure period for countries that haven't get their trade done yet. Okay. All right. And another good news to the market is the China tariff. So it's very likely that you will get extended from the news out here, and they will be talking about like another 90 days if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So yeah. So before the China trade deals being sealed, there will be a lot of uncertainty, especially the manufacturing side. So, but the good news is they will not get it so-called the 100 over. I don't know, is it 100 over or 200 over percent tariff already? Yeah. So it's the crazy rate they previously fight lah. So obviously there's some things that is not finalized yet. So part of it maybe is TikTok and part of it is maybe Taiwan. All right. So there are some things that is not cleared yet. All right. So one of the news that are being announced is like TikTok, if they don't get the trade done, it might not get extended. So in fact, everyone just type in, if you recall, how many times have the TikTok so-called extensions, so how many times have the TikTok deal been extended? Yeah. So TikTok, they say, oh, if you don't sell it to any US company, you will get banned. You will get so-called stop all the service in US. So right now, they are also close to the end, and actually they have extended for not one time. Yeah. So guess how many times they get extended? All right. Oh, I didn't see any chat coming in. Yeah. So let me know if it's not live. If not, I'll be very worried. Yeah. Okay. So how many times has the um, TikTok deal being extended? Yeah. All right. Thanks, Kun Kun. Yeah. Thanks for the response. If not, I really don't know whether the connection is live, because last week, obviously, although I see myself showing live, the minutes is ticking, but everyone just type in A. Eric, you hang. I forget. Get 60 days. All right. So in fact, for TikTok, it get extended 3 times 90 days. So it's get extended for more than half a year. Yeah. Yeah. It's third time. Yeah. So the last one is third time. So this is one of the things that I think is on the plate with the China trade deals. And another thing is obviously Taiwan. So one of the trips that the Taiwanese president that got to fly to some Central America country that they need to stop over in US, right, is being banned. So I don't know how he's going to fly to the Central America without going through US. Yep. Okay. Yeah, so the response is coming, so I know that everything is smooth here. All right. So one of the very interesting things that happened last week is also about the Fed renovation cost. So these two very a senior person fight in front of national TV again. All right. So this time around they are fighting on the cost of renovating Fed. So one of the bills that they have already passed, and then Fed are spending 2.7 billion to renovate their place. And then very funny things that happen is Trump just draw out the letter and tell Jerome Powell, actually it's not 2.7 billion, it's actually 3.1 billion. You're spending 3.1 billion for this office renovation. Yeah. Okay. What? So there's some advertisement pop up. I'll fix that. All right. So so they fight in front of everyone. But if you thought they are just fighting just because the so-called 0.3 or 0.4 billion different, right? I guess you are missing the picture, because actually they are fighting on the Fed rate reduction again. And this Fed rate discussion, the FOMC meeting, is within this today and tomorrow. So 29 and 30th July is the meeting period that we will talk about the Fed rate again. So suppose they want to cut the so-called, they're supposed to talk about the rate but maintain the rate. But obviously Trump and the government would like them to reduce the rate ASAP as soon as possible. But the statistics shown here is almost close to 100% think that the Fed rate will not change. All right. So I will not say they will have any change right here. Google better no ad. All right. So Minjani, thank you. Yep. So just to share, yeah, I'll talk about more about that later on. All right. Okay. So let's start off with sets. So I went to their investor so-called AGM last week. Is it last week? Yes. And then let me just start this polling right here. Yep. So I think there will be some pop-up in your screen. Just like select yes, no, or you are exploring to become a sets investor. All right. Okay. So this is the first time using this function as well. All right. So yeah, let's see how does it looks like. Okay. All right. Did everyone see the polling up? Okay, so just a quick understanding whether or not you are a sets investor, and then whether you are exploring or totally no interest at all. All right, so sets they previously known as Singapore Airport Terminal Services, and right now they just like to know themselves as sets, not Singapore Airport Terminal Services. It's just sets, because right now they are not pure just Singapore company, just like DBS, Dividend Bank of Singapore. They are not known as Dividend Bank of Singapore. They're just known as DBS. It's just DBS. Right now, SETS are doing the same. It's just SETS. And right now, SETS is a global company. no longer a Singapore-centric company. And in fact, more than 50% of their revenue or two-thirds of revenue is coming from worldwide outside of Singapore. All right. Okay. So if you look at their latest figures, right, their revenue have grown more than like 13%. Their earnings is triple from like 80 right now is at 240 million. All right, so it's 240 million net earnings this year. All right, so I guess Julie just came in. So we will talk about latest earning, Google, and right now I'm talking about SATS. So I just went to SATS AGM. I'd like to share some insights that I get from SATS AGM and especially some of the discussions that being bring about by the investor. All right, okay, and then RE is close to 9.8, respectable, close to 10%. And yep, so they have been improving since the COVID days. After the acquisition, they have been improving every single year. And their free cash flow is right now is like whooping 200 million every single year. Yep. All right. Okay. So after the acquisition, right now they have like additional another 23 stations and across 27 countries and 225 locations. So one of the things after the WFS like so-called acquisition, right? So previously, whenever they discuss a contract or discuss agreement or discuss about a service, right, is very silo. So for example, when they talk to maybe DHL, so I like to support your service. So right now, let's talk about just Singapore, or maybe let's just talk about like Thailand. But all these contract, it couldn't achieve synergy when it's very silo. So after WFS acquisition, right, so they can discuss a few locations at the same time because right now they can connect this maybe KT from like Singapore to Abu Dhabi or maybe to some European countries. So they can discussion a few not at the same time. All right. And of course, with bigger network, right, there's economic of skills coming. So right now they have a central kitchen in Thailand whereby they can support various location catering. So for example, the Thailand kitchen, right, they can support Hong Kong, Singapore, and Malaysia at the same time. So this is the economic skills that can achieve after the WFS so-called acquisition. And of course, previously, so for example, WFS, they run air cargo, right? So for example, they run air cargo for maybe Japan Airline, all right, for Japan Airline in like Turkey, for example. I don't know, I don't have the exact location, but just for example, so let's say Turkey. So they have some air cargo services that supporting Turkey Airline. So right now, because of WFS connection with like Japan Airline, so right now, Singapore Airline or no, SATS can also offer their so-called airline services to Turkey Airline that's serving the Turkey, to Japan Airline that's serving the Turkey North. All right, maybe I'm making it confusing. I just simplified. So in short, some of the connections that WFS have but SATS doesn't have, right now they can offer the service. All right. So these are the things that the economy of scale, the synergies that come into place that help them gather more revenue. All right. Okay. Yep. So this is the result. They have gone 3 times more revenue. They have gone 2 times more EBIT. So these are the things that have been really positive for SATS itself. Okay. And yeah. So the result is very positive. But obviously, when you went there, right, some of the things that investors are not happy about. Some very superficial ones. So for example, why SATS are not offering food catering at the venue? Why they just give up voucher and a voucher need to go to other places to get the cheese pasta? So these are the things that very superficial, but is very crucial to Singapore investor because it's lunchtime and they thought like it's a good courtesy for management to provide lunch catering for investor. But for me, I just lunch, no lunch is the same. I just go get my lunch myself. Yeah. So these are the things that if you go to Singapore agent, right, these are the things that again and again being raised. And also the second thing is about dividend. So they are also asking, why are you not giving a dividend yield that is like close to like 5%? You are just giving 2% dividend yield that is like not even match some of the bond yield out there. Yeah. So these are things that investors are not happy about. So there's also investor risk. You are not dividend company giving 2% dividend, and then you are not growing at like in the 20s, 30s. You are just going in the teens. So how will you see yourself as a growth company? Yeah. So these are the things that investors talk about. You are four not alike. You are not a cow. You are not a deer. You are not a camel. So you are nothing. All right. So if you are interested to know how the management response, just type in how. Yeah. So let me just see here. All right. So there's like 20% is set invested, very good, and then 60% not, and then 20% are exploring. All right, very well. Okay, so yep, SETS is an air cargo company in Singapore. Yep, terminal services. All right, yeah, it's a dividend company from Singapore. Yeah, it's not really forex trading. It's just like stock investing, right? But thanks for all the questions. Just keep it coming. All right. Okay. So, according to their dividend track record, yes, they are not giving as much dividend as they used to before the COVID period. So, before COVID period, they give up to 20 cents. You're right. You see, like 14, 15, 17, 18, 19. The COVID, they reduced it to 6 cents because they are going through acquisitions. They are having some issue in the so-called COVID. Right? They reduced to 6 cents. All right. And they have stopped dividend issuance for 3 years. Start out with 1.5, right now is 5 cents. So the investor is asking, when can you match your dividend like the early days? All right. So this is the first thing that they raise. Okay. Yeah. But obviously, there's certain reason they are not issuing out dividend because there's a big acquisitions, and then and they are paying a lot of like interest payment because they borrow a huge debt to fund WFS acquisition. So I know the numbers is a bit small right here, but I just narrate it out like. So previously, they have earning before tax of 240 million before the acquisition in March 2020. And right now, they are also just having 240 million net profit, net interest, all right? Oh, no, not interest, net income. So these are things that investors don't like. So after the acquisitions, you're supposed to so-called like double or you close to triple your size, but your net income is still the same. So these are the things that the investors are not happy about. After acquisition, you are 3 times the size right now, but your income level is still the same. Yeah. So this is like not a positive sign, or not like the investor are not happy about. Yeah. But if you look at their earned interest expense, right? So in 2020, their interest is zero. But right now they are paying 240 million interest expense. So imagine if they pay off the debt, the revenue is the same, their earnings are going to at least double, all right, to close to 400 to 500 million every single year. All right, so these are the things whereby if they will pile on that, you will see their earnings will like so-called the interest or the benefit will go straight down to their net income. And when the net income come in, it will turn out to be a dividend payment to the investor. All right, so these are the response from the management that I find is quite positive in the sense that management know what they are doing, and they are very clear about paying down their debt. All right, but one of the things that I'm not so happy about is this. So last year itself, they shared this graph. They tell investor, we are going to become a $10 billion revenue company with an ROE of 15%. All right. So if the company have declared last year about this goal, right, I would prefer the company to continue to show this graph to show their commitment. But I don't know what's the reason why they don't show this. Maybe they thought we should play down this, maybe in case we don't reach, or we should play down this just in case like the shareholders delve into certain numbers that we are not confident about. So these are the things that I don't feel positive when I'm in the room itself. It's like, hey, you should show this, right? Yeah. If you feel the same, just like yeah. So it's like I promised to get 10 million, right? 3 years down the road. Right now, I'm on my first year. I say I'm 10 million right now. Second year, I'm in 15 million. But I didn't share my goal again. Yeah. So as an investor, right, I would say you should always show this until 2028. and then we measure your track record according to your state goal, right? Yeah, so these are things that I'm not happy about. When the question is being raised by the shareholders, they say they're still committed to this number. So I still feel all right in some sense, but if they have put it straight away, I'll feel more positive. And they reiterate this goal itself. So first is to repay loan. So remember the interest payment that I've been paying, right? They paid 240 million every single year. So last year 246, this year is 240 million interest payment. Yeah. So if they didn't pay down their loan, right, the interest payment is just servicing the bank, which is in the end they shareholder you get nothing, but you're just helping the bank do business, right? And then next thing is they will reinvest in capex. So one of the questions that I raised in the room is this. All right. So all the Singapore listed company have to produce this report called sustainability report, and they have spent so much resources and time to produce sustainability report. But obviously, investors are not happy about it. Investors just want like the clean bottom line. Yeah. So one of the things that I don't quite understand or don't quite get it is, if this is not the priority for investor, why the company put resources, or why Singapore like Singapore Action want to put it, and there's no effort driving this communication. There's no effort trying to share this across. Yeah, I know bottom line is important, but for me, I'm still young and I still have a young kid. So if you think the world need to be a better place, yeah, which I believe so, that's when we should put more emphasis on talking about sustainability, especially how the company can contribute in sustainability effort. So one of the sustainability effort they always talk about is like their so-called scope 1, scope 2, scope 3 kind of like measure. So previous year itself, they measure on scope 1 and scope 2, means some scope 1 is the company generated CO2. Scope 2 is the electricity or things that the fuel they use that constitute to scope 2 carbon. Scope 3 is their supply chain. So their supplier, or throughout the supply chain, what are the parties and how much CO2 they have produced. So scope 3. So the company, the management are very committed in scope 1 and scope 2. And when we talk about scope 3, I ask, okay, so scope 1 is 20%, scope 1 is 10%, scope 3 is 70% of the carbon or of the CO2 they have produced. So obviously, if I were the investor, I say, hey, 70%, that's a lot there. Is there any efforts to reduce 70%? But the management have shared that actually the scope 3 is a bit harder. So they put a lot of effort on scope 1 and scope 2 like reduction, but not so much on scope 3. But the efforts they put in scope 3 is to measure it. So it's like the old saying, what get measured, get improved. So at least they get measured about scope 3. And then next is looking into how to help their so-called supply chain to adopt more sustainable, efficient process so that they can reduce their CO2. Yeah. So if you are in green investing, or if you are in ESG investing, like what I've putting effort into learning, these are things that you should look into, especially sustainable reporting. All right. So this is sets. So yeah. So we go into the second portion. So right now time is 8:40. I know I read exiting time, but no worries. I'll going into Google in the next 15 minutes. All right. So is Google dying? Right. So these are the questions that a lot of people would have asked. All right. So let me just start another polling. Are you still using Google search? All right. So one of the many reasons people are worried about is their business, and majority of their revenue come from Google search. All right. So that's why people are very, very worried, or investors are very, very worried, if majority of people in the public are not using Google search, it will definitely affect their search, so-called advertisement revenue. All right. Let me just see. All right. So are you still using Google search? Just keep the voting coming. So I think there's 10 of you or 11 of you so-called voting. Very good. Just keep voting. All right. So for Google, they have monopoly power in search. Should I put it that way? They deny lah, but we all know if you go search, right, you'll most likely go to Google. The younger generation, I'm not so sure, but for me, I definitely go Google. So if you ask me if I'm still using Google search, yes, I'm still using Google search. As much as I've used ChatGPT, but I think the habit is still going to Google search to search public information or to search some like public site or just to search some sources through Google. Yeah. So some of the people will use Gemini to search, but for me, I still use Google search because right now, if you have not aware, Google search, if you change your way of inputs. If you just type in something like Thai food, most likely they will just give you suggestion, give you like some map or give you some links to go into some Thai food restaurant. All right. But if you ask, what is good Thai food, for example, most likely there will be a portion to show you some idea of how to make good Thai food. There's an AI overview to give you some like responses and then some cooking method or some restaurants that you might want to look into to improve your cooking style, for example, right? So there's this AI overview portion that pop up to the top. So instead of the sponsor ads, sponsors like so-called companies, whatever, that putting out their advertisement, right now AI overview have taken on like 30 to 40% of the real estate before you go to the bottom to other search result. Yeah, so this is the thing whereby investors are quite kind of worried. Yeah, but let's look at the so-called voting right here. So if you see the voting, right, close to 90% are still using Google search. I wonder the 11%, what are they using? All right. Okay. Yep. So 90% are still using Google search. So is Google dying? Let's look further into it. All right. Okay. So 15 years ago, I received tickets. I just go so-called apply for a tickets to join a YouTube event. All right. So 15 years ago, when I was in Taiwan, I so-called try my luck to go to their YouTube Music Day. All right. So this is the early days when YouTube wanting to get into our time span. So 15 years ago, YouTube like run a music day just to drive user, just to drive activity, a marketing event for people to use YouTube, learn about YouTube and watch from YouTube. All right. So this is 15 years ago. And last week, I think it's last week or last week itself, I went to another YouTube event as well. So this time around is in Singapore. So for the longest time, I always want to go to Google. I want to join Google as a team or whatever, but I don't have the chance to do it. But last week, I have a chance to visit Google office. So yeah, I own like until right now, I only have a chance to go visit Google office in Singapore, and then specifically for YouTube event, it's a YouTube shopping accelerator event. So what have YouTube Singapore done is this. All right. So if you go to TikTok, there's a TikTok store, there's TikTok shop. People can just watch TikTok and put in order to purchase goods from TikTok. All right. So if you are a TikTok user, and to address this new shopping method, right, YouTube come with a new project or new avenue. All right. Obviously, they felt the threat from TikTok lah. If everyone go to TikTok, watch all those TikTok video, and then purchase like stuff from there, right? And they will bring away people from YouTube. So YouTube have find a way for the content creator to stay in YouTube so that they can also get some like income lah, some source of income by selling stuff from YouTube. All right. So YouTube have partner Shopee. So if you are a C limited investor, good news, because right now, other than Shopee Live, right now, people who are on YouTube, the content creator can also sell stuff from YouTube. I think this is specifically to Singapore at the moment because they are partnering YouTube. But obviously, after Singapore, right, I would say naturally they'll go into Malaysia or even Taiwan or even like the South America where YouTube and Shopee both have presence. Yeah. All right, it's lagging again, but no worries. I'll just continue. Most likely it's just some technical issue right here. Okay. All right, so this is Google. So let's go into Google's Q2 2025 earning results that is released last week, 23rd of July. All right. So if the speed have up, just let me know as well, or is completely stopped, just type in as well, let me know. Right. So their quarterly earnings is close to 100 billion. Right now is sitting at 96 billion for last quarter. And in fact, is growing like in a 14%. For a large company like them, is at 14%. Inaudible. Let me just stop sharing. Okay, so maybe if the visibility is not so good, and I'll just narrate. All right, so it's close to 100 billion. If you look at their revenue breakdown right here, maybe I just share again. All right, so you look at their revenue breakdown right here, is like okay, so their search, their YouTube ads, the Google network, and subscription. These are their four different revenue source, and you can see the big blue portion, right? The biggest portion, close to 80%, is still from this thing called Google service, which is Google search. Yeah, if you see that, Aaron, just type in a 1, saying that there's a big bulk of revenue is still from Google search. Okay, yeah. Okay, thank you, Hui Kong. All right, thank you. All right, yeah. So we generate this like research, proprietary research after I read their latest earning report and also their earnings call. Okay, yeah. So there's no wonder why people are worried about the Google search result lah. And then, yes, it's close to a so-called 1.5 years when we talk about ChatGPT, we talk about AI search result, and then ChatGPT right now even want to run their own browsers. But you can see right here, even so many news out there, their Google search compared to last year, last quarter itself, right, is still growing at 12%, which is kind of impressive. And if you look at their subscriptions and platform, right, is going at 20%, right? So their ad space, advertisement space, right, is growing at close to 12 to 13%, and their subscription space is growing at 20%, which is very, very impressive for a so-called billion-dollar company like them. All right. And if you look at their YouTube performance, every single quarter have been growing like crazy. And a lot of it is drive by direct response. Means you go to YouTube, there's YouTube ads that pop up, and then click on it. Is a direct response marketing lah. All right, so this is from YouTube. And what is more impressive is their Google Cloud growth. So right now, their Google Cloud growth is at 20%, if I'm not wrong, and their profit margin is at 20% as well. Right. So if you look at their Google Cloud operating margin at 20%, it's grow from the 10% to 20%. So in so-called in a year itself, they have doubled their profit margin. Means they save more money, or by economy skills make more revenue. With the fixed cost, their operating margin went higher. So there's a so-called operating leverage from Google Cloud so-called business. Yeah. So this is what we can see right here. All right. So let's look at this breakdown. All right. It's not the full revenue, but these three different segments: YouTube ads, Google Clouds, and Google Search revenue. The green color is Google Search revenue. So you can see Google Search revenue is in the teens. So in like the 10 or 15%. All right. The YouTube as well. But if you look at their Google Cloud, right? Did it state right here? Yeah, Google Cloud revenue, CAGR is at 30%. All right. So for a huge company like them, there's a segments that can grow 30%. I would say it's a very, very impressive so-called effort by the team. All right. And then some of the numbers that they shown in terms of like AI, right? So AI mode, so their Gemini users right now have close to 100 million monthly active users. 100 million monthly active users. So I'm not sure. For our developers, they are so-called using Gemini, and specifically Gemini 2.5 mode. All right. Okay. Yep. And then in terms of like token process is 980 trillion. And in fact, they shared in their meetings, right, is close to double is close to doubled compared to last so-called last quarter itself. So you see that there's a lot of usage in their so-called Gemini. All right, and they claim themselves for all the new tech startup or unicorn out there, right? Most likely they are using Google Cloud Platform. Why? Because for GCP, right, with all the AI so-called model or usage or features, right, it's better than using it's better using Google Cloud than using Amazon or even Azure. So if you look at the competitors or look at all those unicorn out there, right, most likely they are using GCP. Yeah. Okay. So the key management insights have already shared that they are the leading frontier of AI at a already very incredible space, and then AI is positively impacting every part of their business. So this is their latest result and latest earning. All right. So for investor who just look at their earnings presentation or their earnings slides, right? Most likely these are the things that you sieve up, and most likely these are things that will give you some idea and some understanding on the progress of the company. But if you like to understand deeper on the business itself, all right, there's a few things that I would say we should pay attention to. First thing is their so-called product. If you are the user, the best. If you are not the user, it's best you can ask like people who are using it. So for example, developers, for example, maybe people are using like the YouTube subscription, or people who are using Google One service. All right, so ask the users, ask the developers, or even ask marketers, especially those like people who putting ads through YouTube, through Google. Are they still using it? Because in the end of the day, this is where the revenue come from. So first thing, product. All right. Second thing, the deeper level is also because if you ask a certain user, a certain group, maybe they are very positive, and maybe they are just the 10% out of the 100% of users. So it's not really giving you the best idea or the best pictures of the business itself. So the second best thing to do is to listen to earnings transcript, or listen to their earnings release and read their earnings transcript. So these are the two things that I find if you are interested in a company, you have to invest in a company, best every earnings report, right? Whatever they say, right? Go into these two things, their product and also their earnings transcript. Yeah, if you follow that, just step in two. All right. So this come to the main gist of the session itself is Google dying. All right. So right now I just put a pause right here. So I believe a lot of you who are so-called listening through YouTube, right? This might be the first time you're listening here. And this might be the so-called for the longest time you have missed out our update. You are the first time coming back. So some of the portion whereby we like to make sure you guys are aligned. I hope you will get better understanding before you go to the next segment. But right now, I hope for these sessions, we have gone through sets updates, we have gone through Google earnings release. I hope you guys get a lot of value right here and then get some understanding of the business first. All right. So I hope these sessions give a clear idea of how you perceive a company before you go deeper into investing in the company. All right. Okay. So right now, maybe I put a pause right here. So for people who are subscribing to our community, so-called Goodwill community, WealthPulse, right? You will know that this group of people are paying $10 every single month. All right. So this group of people are paying $10 every single month, just to subscribe and then listen to our next portion itself. So if you're interested in learning what the two items that I talked about, which is talking about the product usage itself and talking about the earnings transcript, what is the key idea, which we'll share in our closed community. These are the subscription link that you can join. All right. So you can just go to click.goodwill.com/join-WP. All right. So maybe I just ask right here. So for people who are here, can I continue? Also, for subscribers who are here, can I continue my portion on YouTube? If I can continue, just type in OK. Because you guys are paying, and then you guys should enjoy a private space. All right, so just type in okay or no lah. Yeah, so yeah, just to be fair to this group of paying user. Right, so thanks for supporting me, because this portion or even the first 40 minutes portion is supposed to be a private community, but they allowed me to share it publicly through YouTube. All right, so Kun Kun say no problem, let's go. All right, no Zoom. Yeah, so I just keep it right here. So only for this session, only for this session. All right, thank you, thank you. All right, thanks JX. All right, thank you Lily. All right, thank you Xuan. Okay, all right. So only for this session, I just put it right here. So for those who are watching it from YouTube, if you are yet to subscribe, right, maybe this is the first taste you get through from the style, the thing that I will talk about when it comes to investing a company. Because a lot of investing channel out there there's a lot. There's different investing guru. There's different investment analysts that are very good at their analytic skill, looking into company, looking into investment. But for me, I think what I would see differently is really I will see myself as a user of the company product, or as a clientele or client of the company product. Because in the end of the day, revenue come from somewhere, and revenue come from paying customer, paying user. If you yourself should be a potential customer and you are not using it, then that might be some gap that the company should address. Or if this company or your business should using this service but you are not using, then what's the issue of this company? What's the problem? Yeah, and the most problematic thing is if you are this user of this company and you cancel the service, then it's even worse lah. So that's why I always go back to the fundamental of the business, which is their revenue source. Yeah, how are they going to continue to generate value and generate revenue for investor? Because without clientele, investor is just nothing. Because if your business have no customer, right, as an investor, you get nothing in the end of the day, right? Yep, no tip, just sharing. All right. Yeah. So this is what I'll be doing. So maybe I just go straight lah. All right. Instead of jumping around to Zoom. Yeah, is Google dying? Right. So this is the thing whereby if you go to Google, right, things that you search. So for example, you are doing SEO for a website. You want to learn about SEO. You just type in SEO. So when you type in SEO, there's a AI lab research that talk about what is SEO. SEO is like search engine or optimization. Like teach you about SEO. So previously, without this portion, SEMrush, the advertisement, should be the top line. Means SEMrush is the top portion, the estate that SEMrush paying to get on top. But right now, because of the AI overview lab, right, it get pushed downwards. As an advertiser, all right, okay, so 93% are still using. All right, very good. All right, so maybe I just as an advertiser. All right, as a advertiser, do you like AI lab or AI overview? It's up on top. Right now, as an advertiser, as an advertiser. All right. So as an advertiser, obviously, you should be at the beginning of the movie play, right? So for example, you go for a movie at cinema, right? No point getting at the end of the movie, right? You should be at the first 5 minutes or even like first 20, 30 minutes of the before the movie play. Yeah. So these are the thing whereby as an advertiser, I would think, that looks positive. Like right now, my advertisement is not at the front. The user will just read AI overview, not even going down to my advertisement. Yeah. So this is the thing whereby Google just like hitting himself on the leg lah. All right. And the other way, which is some of the advertisements they put on Google Map. So right now you can see. So right now, let's say you go for Thai food, right? You go for Thai food. I search for Thai food, and then you can see, actually, you see the sponsors restaurant is still on top. Still not too bad. All right. So there's some so-called adaptation on different pages, different search. All right. So this is just simply typing SEO or just simply typing Thai food. Right. So if you type Thai food, right, most likely from the app, from the map, right, you suggest you some Thai restaurant, and then the top sponsor are still shown right there. Right, so there's some mixture right here. Okay, but let's say if you type in playpen, right? So I bought a playpen for my kid, all right? So you still having some sponsor ads right here, still positive lah. So from my opinion right here, the advertisement is still visible, although it's not putting high priority, but it's still visible to the public. Yeah, just like your Facebook feed, your Instagram feed, right? You feed you some posts before the sponsors post, right? Yeah, so this is what I'm seeing right here. I still click into add and link below as it more relevance. Yep. So Celine said, you still click into add. Yeah. So some of the argument is the ads is still useful. The ad space in the Google search result is still useful. Yep. Yep. So Google, they know if they don't give up this air overview search result, right? The user will go somewhere else to search for result. They'll go ChatGPT to ask question, right? So you see these are the different here. So this is just playpen. This is just which is the best playpen. So which is the best playpen? The inputs, right? They will detect it and then they will answer it smartly lah. So they will use air overview to answer you smartly. So if you just type playpen, right, most likely they'll assume you are very into purchasing a playpen. You know what you want, so they just feed you the advertisement. Yeah. All right. So this is what I'm seeing right here as a user or as an advertiser or potentially an investor. So just to declare, I'm not a Google investor, but I'm looking into maybe some investment into Google. I'll share with you why. All right. Okay. I share valuation. Valuation is the thing that I'm looking at right now. Okay. So some of the key questions that highlight in the earnings call. All right, just hope AI don't give nonsense result, but act like it's accurate. Yep. So one of the reason or one of the flaw of using AI result, right, is sometimes AI will hallucinate. Yeah. So for example, ChatGPT will give you hallucinate result or hallucinate response. But with like the refinement, with all the source that being pulled out, right, maybe it'll give you a better result in that sense because they'll quote sources, they'll give you where they find their sources to come up with the response, right? Okay, so coming to this, some of the key questions that asked in the earnings itself. So first, everyone is very into how they monetize their AI, particular in search. All right. So these are the questions that raised by the investment analyst. I find very important and very relevant for investors because yeah, you have all this AI overview that tick off all the estate, right? Would you be able to monetize in all these AI investment in a day? All right, particularly in search. So this is what CEO Sundar Pichai responded. Like, AI is positive impact every part of the business, even internally, right? So internally they are using AI to code. All right, internally they are using AI across different departments, different functions that drive up efficiency. So right now they say, in fact, for their business, right, is driving strong momentum and giving double-digit revenue growth, which is the AI search result, like 12% in their AI search. All right. So they claim that they are having so-called very positive and performing well, right? So if you feel positive after listening to them, then you buy in. But if you just thought, hey, it's just word leh, then that's when you should follow up in the next quarter. And then we should take this note to the next quarter and then see how the investment or how the so-called management will address the same question. So this is the thing whereby when we listen to earnings call, right, we will follow up the next quarter itself as well. All right. So what is the impact on AI user behavior and search? So obviously, the AI feature users are getting more result and it's positive, then the users search more. So this is what they find out. So because of the AI feature, users search more. So it's not just type playpen, right? And then just swipe through. No, users search even more. User key in more keywords or key in more question in their search and drive up search even more because they want to find search that meet their needs. Yeah, especially for younger users, right? Any younger user right here? If you are younger user, you say, oh, after I type in certain like for example, play plan, right? There's a lot of play plan. Just tell me the best play plan, right? So you get more sharp in terms of question. Just like when people start using ChatGPT, right? You need to get more sharp in keying your prompter. Likewise, okay. So this is what Google is discovering, right? Next is also about the YouTube. Any YouTube, so-called subscriber right here, YouTube subscriber. All right. So these are the subscription plan that you can see offered by Google. So there's this Google One service. If you are paying $20 per year to use GPT, right? Maybe you should consider Google AI Pro, because Google AI Pro also include Gemini, include 2 TB storage of photo and Gmail, and then it also include VO 3 and also Wiz with VO 2. All right. When I look at this, right, I start to consider myself, hey, maybe I should switch my usage from ChatGPT to Google, because right now I'm paying $20 every month for ChatGPT. But of course, ChatGPT give like very good result, very good response. That like that me myself like used to it and then relied on it, and that's why I continue to use it. But when I look at this like plan, right, maybe I should look into this because I get Gemini usage. Yeah, with notebook LLM with higher limits. All right. So right now, not just thinking as an investor. So right now, as a user, I'm considering switching. So if you see that, right, maybe if you ask the same question to different user, if there's that kind of question pop up and then they have different decision, right, maybe it's a sign for Google itself. All right. So this is me. I will not say everyone. But for YouTube Premium, right? So YouTube, I'm okay with watching ads. So it's like I just watch ads like just a few minutes, not few seconds, at most 1 minute. All right. And I'm not spending much time on YouTube anyway. In a sense that like 6-7 hours. No, it's like at most like on train like 1 hour. Yeah. So if I watch maybe just like 5 minutes kind of ads, I'm still fine. All right. So you can see like $20 over dollars, close to $30 for family plan. Yep. And then if you like still watching some ads, right, there's a premium light plan, right? But if you compare to Netflix, it's also somewhat the same. Yeah, $30 per month, $30 per month if for Netflix. So obviously, YouTube and Netflix have different group of creators. Netflix is a big production. YouTube is a smaller size production. Generally, smaller size production. I should put it that way because like YouTube, there's Mr. Beast, right? Yep. So YouTube, there's like different type of content. Yep. So I have friends subscribing YouTube Premium. Yeah. So they have been like skipping all the ads. But for me, I'm not paying for that. So as a user, I'm more drawn towards Google AI Pro package with all the storage, with the Gemini, with creator package kind of thing. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So this is from a consumer side of thinking. And let's look at for a company level of thinking. So how does Google view the balance and strategy between YouTube advertising and subscription revenue? So this is what their response is. If you are investor or if you are the business owner, you would love their response. Why? We love ads business. We love our subscription business. YouTube subscriptions are increasingly important for YouTube. We definitely continue a long-term focus here. We also have a very deep understanding of monetization here. Where are we monetizing more with ads? Where can we potentially monetize more with subscription? So I think we will continue this as double tier strategy actively going forward. In short, they want to make both sides. They want to make ad revenue. They also want to make their YouTube premium revenue. So they want to make both sides. So as a business owner or as an investor, when I listen to this, I say, very good. Why? Because you are optimizing a business to make both sides of revenue instead of one. Yeah, so I see this as a positive response from the so-called management. Okay. Yep. So for capex, why they increased from 75 to 85 billion. So some of the question is like, can they materialize the capex? All right. So one of the things that they raise is like the capex. Yes, they spend in it, right? They may not materialize in the next quarter or even next year. Maybe need time to digest and then like get more revenue after which. So I think it's not so important right here. Yep. So agentic search. So if you have followed ChatGPT, right? So ChatGPT have like introduced their ChatGPT agent for public usage. I think it's not. I think it's available in Singapore already. Yeah, I think it's available in Singapore already. But Gemini, they have not like providing agentic search. It's more for their own internal search. So this is the thing. When I talk about agentic search. All right. Okay. The new device and AI. So I think one of the things that people would be confused about is this thing. So right now they have Google search. You have your Gemini app. So where should you search? All right. Maybe we stop this polling here. Yeah. So advertiser. All right. So 50 vote yes or no. All right. And poll. All right. Okay. So maybe just generate, just respond. So let's say you want to do search. Will you go to Google search or will you go to Gemini app to search? Yeah. So this is the question being raised by the investor. They also want to know, hey, where do user normally do their search? Yeah. And then what is the difference? Why? Because if both serve the same purpose, right? Why you maintain two different searching site? Isn't it better to use just one? Yeah. Just use google.com. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So this is what the management response. So it serves different purposes. Google search is like it's very grounded in search experience. In other words, you like different site, you like different sources that give you the experience of searching stuff. Yeah. So Google search is like you like to go to supermarket and then go browse through different product. So even though there's an AI overview right there, give you some understanding of your search, you still want to go to search experience. So this is what their management respond back. And then if you go to Gemini, right? Gemini, their way of searching, right, is through conversational. You like to have some conversational experience to find out your answer. So these two search is a bit different. Gemini is something like your friend, your customer service agent. You like to interact with a person. But Google search, you like you go to the store yourself, you like to do scalping yourself. So in short, these two different search method give two different search experience whereby they are still maintaining as two sites instead. Do you think makes sense? Yeah. Google search and Gemini. Do you think makes sense? Yeah. Mm. Yeah. So this is in terms of like their business direction. They want to ask, would they put more emphasis on building a so-called Gemini type of search experience, or they just keep with their so-called Google search experience? Yeah. So this is the things that the analysts want to find out. Would they put more resources on Gemini? Because ChatGPT have come out with their intentions to build browser. We don't know what is their experience like if they build up browsers, but for Gemini or for Google itself, they are still maintaining two different search experience. All right, so you can't say different lah. So they say, yeah, all right, okay. And one of the most crucial problems for all the tech company or even the developer world, if you are a developer, which company would you go to? All right. Would you go to a company that pay you 100 million potentially? Yeah. Or you go to like a different company like Google. Yeah. So there's Meta AI team. There's like Tesla, so-called like Elon Musk team, Grok AI. All right. And there's this Microsoft software development team. All right. And right now you have this Google team as well. So as a developer, which company would you go to? And yeah, this is the questions that all the tech company have to address when our Mark Zuckerberg offer 100 million just to get one developer over. Right. So this is the question that are being raised as well. So this is what their response like. In my experience, the top people look for a combination. They want to be the forerunner or frontier on this driving progress, means they want to take charge as well. So If I go to Meta, I didn't take charge, I just follow. That's not where I want to go. And then the mission of also the state of art of the work that matter. So it's just not like just hoo-ha, right, to be the AI frontier, take the front page of certain like magazine or whatever. No, they believe people who join Google will would love to participate in the work itself, like to put in their contributions in the work that they want to grow. Right. So this is very important for Google developer. They want to participate. Right. So that's why they thought with this group of people who like to grow together, their peers is also important. So they thought working with this group of people are crucial. So they thought Google team has there's challenge of hiring, but for the talent itself is still manageable. So this is what they address. Yeah, and then of course lah, with all the rising developer costs, would they eat into their margins? All right. So they say, yeah, it's a part and parcel, but they are still working hard to offset it. So in other words, it's either they can drive more efficiency or drive for revenue. So with the people who they get in, right, obviously, developers have to address that lah. You get hired in a team, right? You also will get fired in the team as well. So this is what they highlight lah. It's part and parcel, and then you'll find somewhere to offset it. Okay, so as an investor, right? So these are all the questions that being raised and addressed. So from their products, from the threat from AI, from team hiring, so they address in this like earnings call. So without going into earnings call, right? Most likely we will not get this insight from the management. And then I find listening to all these earnings call give me some understanding whether they are managing it well. Give me some understanding whether they are confident in their business and whether they can foresee how their business going forward. All right. Okay. The pantry is still quite sick at Google. All right. So once you have the key gist or key idea whether the company can grow moving forward, right? Then you form your so-called thesis and form your conclusion of the Google business. So for myself, when I look at all this like threats or even bad so-called connotations or even like doomsday kind of like comment to Google, right? I look at my own activity. I still using Google search. Not good Gemini yet, but I still using Google search. I still go to YouTube. Yeah. Just like what I experienced previously when Facebook face issue, right? I still using Facebook. Even Facebook have issue, right? I'm still using Instagram. So I'm still using their service, enjoying their service as a user, and also the growth are still there for the company itself, right? How can you enlighten more about this? You mean the business overall, right? So the business overall, I say is still positive. They are still growing in the teens, and then their cloud are still growing at 30%, and their margin is still improving. And if you look at other cloud business margin, for example, Amazon, right? Amazon are generating 30% operating margin. So Google still can increase their operating margin to 30% if they can match Amazon, right? So 30% growth in their Google Cloud and then 20% operating margin is definitely a space for Google to grow. And for all the different unicorn out there are still growing, right? Since they start with Google, right? Most likely they will still continue to use Google. And with the healthy and encouraging environment for new tech startup like so-called operator, right? Most likely they will join Google as well. Yeah. So maybe yes, Amazon, Microsoft are the leader in cloud space, but Google Cloud, even though they are the third, they are gaining market shares in all those different new tech startup company. So this is what we see. Okay. Yep. So the thesis is that one of the things that is very important is this. What? Wait, not yet. Okay, before I end, I'd like to close this with this quote by Warren Buffett. Wonderful business if you purchase at a very high price or very, very high valuation. No matter how good or how so-called impressive the business is, you would still be potentially making a loss in the investment. Why? Because you're paying a high price. When the valuation went down, you get hurt just by the price decrease, not the business deteriorate. Yeah. So when it comes to business or investing, right, valuation is still the key. And then purchasing or investing in business with margin of safety give you some edge of making error, right? So let's come to the last portion, which is the valuations. All right. So if you look at different like Magnificent Seven, right? So these are the different company. So compared to S&P 500, Nvidia, Microsoft, Meta have beat S&P 500. So S&P is like 8%, right? Meta is 20, Microsoft 22, Nvidia close 30%. So these are the three leaders in Magnificent Sevens. Who are the laggard? So Amazon just 6%. Like Apple and Tesla is the worst. All right. Google is just like making like 1% compared to year to date. All right. So Google are lagging behind. All right. So is this a good time to invest? All right. So let's look at the different valuations from the different company. So apple to apple comparison, but just have a sense of how their price to sales valuation at. So one of the very simple like valuation method is using price to sales, right? Why? Because revenue is the figures that couldn't manipulate compared to earnings. Earnings can be manipulated in the sense that they can put in expenses to manipulate earnings, but sales cannot be manipulated. Means you did $1 sales means $1 sales. Yeah. So this is a thing whereby if using the relative valuation, right, price to sales might be so-called better compared to price to earnings lah. Although price to earnings is more conventional one, right? So if you look at price to sales, right, Nvidia is still the pricier end, which is 29 times price to sales. If you look at Microsoft, it's 14. Yeah, Amazon 3. But of course, these are all different type of businesses. That's why their price to sales are different. And if you look at like Google, right, is at 6 times. So if you compare like Google, Microsoft, and also Meta, which is more like software end, right, Google is still at the lower end. Microsoft is at 14 times. Meta is at close to 9 to 10 times. Okay. Yeah. Tesla is like 11 times. Yeah. Right. So we just compare in like software world, Microsoft, Meta, and also Google. Yep. And if you just look at Google alone, their so-called past 5 years price to sales is hovering between 3.8 times to 8 times. Right now it's like roughly 6 times. So it's like in their average like price to sales. So if you ask me, right, actually they are at a fair value pricing. Yeah. And I think I felt that compared to their peers, right, compared to Meta, compared to Microsoft, right, actually Google is at the more attractive valuation. All right. So this is what I'm looking as a conclusion for Google. Google, they are still growing. They are still very, very aggressive in the sense that growing in the Google Cloud front. They are forerunner in the AI space, although there's a lot of challenge from like ChatGPT, from Perplexity, from Claude. They are still in a very strong ecosystem within their so-called user group. And if you look at their valuations, it's still attractive compared to Meta and compared to Microsoft. So this is the conclusion for these sessions, right? So just let me know if you like what I've been sharing, and then do you get any value from here? All right. So just a conclusion right here. So for those who are on YouTube and then you like to get this portion or insights of investing in the company, how I look in the company, what is the key ideas that will pick up. So within our close community, this is what I will share lah. Yep. So if you like it, it's like 990 or close to so-called USD $10 per month. All right, and then you just go to this QR code or just go click.google.com/join-WP to join us every single week Tuesday, and all the recording is in this like WealthPulse or in this like so-called committee that we have, and you can go back to, if I'm not wrong, close to 2 years. All the recording is still there. All right. So right now time is 9:20. All right. I'll do better next round in my time management, and really happy to so-called share with you my finding. All right. So if you are here, just hit me a like, hit me a love if you like what I've been sharing for tonight. All right. Thank you, Hui Kong. Thank you, Kun Kun. More deep sharing. All right. Mm. All right. Okay. All right. So if you love, Hui Kong says stop by next week. All right. Okay. So if you have any feedback, just type in here. So if you just love this session, you can just type in thank you. Yeah. Yep. Anything that you feel like sharing with me. Thank you, Lily. Enough Sophia lah. Thank you. Thanks, Grizzly. Thank you. Consider for subscribing. All right. Thank you. Let me just like share the link here. All right. Okay. So if you are interested, you can always like sign up through this link itself. All right. Is it a link? Can you click on the link? Yeah. Okay. I cannot share link. I don't know why, but never mind. Right. So this is how I'll be sharing in our weekly WealthPulse session. Right. So this is the prop. I've forgotten this prop itself. I should hold up for the past 1.5 hour, but I've forgotten. Why? Because the voice is not picked up from here. It's from my laptop. I should have set up before I click live. But too bad, I've forgotten. Yeah. So next week onward, you will see me holding this in a nicer mic. Yeah. Yep. So for those who have followed me through this one whole year, I hope you see there's improvement that I'm putting into, or there's effort that I put into a lot more like things that lightings, color, sound, content, segmentizations. Yeah. So next thing is like how can I reach to more people? So one of the things that I would like to do is through YouTube. If you can share with people, just share the link upwards. After this live end, right, you can just share this live video, or there's some shorts that I'll be releasing out, right? You can share the shorts, YouTube shorts, and then I will be updating TikTok and IG as well. So share with your friends. All right, wear brighter color shirt next week. Xiao Okay, yep. So yeah, I'll ask the team whether we can have brighter shirt. We only got black and blue, blue black. All right, all right. Sponsor Mike. Don't wear clothes better, Kun Kun. I can like invite Kun Kun to don't wear clothes lah, but better not lah, huh? We serve different purposes. We are a knowledge platform sharing. No more orange shirt. Yep. Very good suggestion. I will consider wearing orange next week. Not safe for work. Yep. All right. So once again, thanks everyone for joining in. Just like click likes, type in your comment, share with me your thoughts. If you are in the WhatsApp group, just share with me what you have learned and share with your friends. If you have like some friends that have missed out for the past, 1-2 years or whatever, you want to invite them back, can just share them the YouTube link. All right. I need more viewers. Yes, thank you, Kun Kun. Yeah, so that's why YouTube have a natural platform or natural outreach that we can go into. Yeah, dance one time. Yep. All right. Okay, so once again, thanks everyone. I really enjoyed the time. If you have anything to find out, so for example, some of the companies that raised like SoFi, definitely we can look into next week or even before next week. I can share in the group itself. Okay, thanks, Leong. Yeah, see everyone next week. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.